man, way before we even hit the record button. And I really appreciate the level of energy he's got. He reminds me of me. I'm very high energy, like I'm naturally hyper. Right?
I remind you of you now. I'm insulted. How dare you?
Oh, I love it. I love it. Hey, listen. Some people get upset with us on the things that we say and talk about, and you know what? That's okay with me.
Yeah, if you're easily offended. Yeah. GTFO, STFU. Oh, and since we were joking before we started, it's a great pleasure to be on the Kevin Oh Damn show, or the Kevin Oh No Damn You Didn't show. Move over Rickles and Rivers and Andrew Dice Clay and Triumph the Insult Dog. It's Jokester Joe the Insult Bro.
I love it. I love it. Wow. Oh my gosh. So, folks, listen. I can't wait to get into this
Yeah.
conversation today.
Oh,
You see his
wait. The
energy.
show's name's One Moment. One moment. I got a call coming in. I got to take. I'm kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke.
I love it. Oh man. Oh man. Oh, I'm loving this energy.
I've
Today
got a million of them, and they're all as lame.
Oh, I love it. All right. So, folks, before we get into today's conversation and today's topics, we could potentially trigger you if you are watching or listening to this. So, with that being said, everything we do on this show is educational uh, only. It's not to give professional advice. It's not to give clinical advice or medical advice. None of that stuff is what we do. If you really seriously need help, and if you are triggered by any means, because it can happen, please reach out and utilize your resources. You have 988, 911 if you are in the Western Hemisphere. You also have local hospitals and local emergency centers, both in the Western and or local crisis centers if you are in the Western and the Eastern Hemisphere. Please utilize your resources. You have psychiatrists, psychologists, your medical providers. Use them. We should be a resource also, but we do not, anything we do on the show does not suffice for professional experience or any of that, sir.
Amen.
Any of
Amen.
that. Okay,
And I
we're not a
think the
professional service.
suicide prevention line is 1-800 helpline. I think there's that too, 800 helpline.
No, yeah, no, absolutely. So now that we got the disclaimer out of the way, and I appreciate that, let's get to why we're here. So tell us about who you are, sir. Uh, I was doing some research and some reading on you, and then you broke that you just published your 13th international book. So let's talk more about this.
Yeah, I'm Joseph M. Leonard. It looks French. It's not Leonard. It's Leonard without an O. I haven't dug far enough back in the woodpile to find out what it originally. It's actually Polish. Leonard Łaskowicki or whatever the heck it was way back when. Joseph M. Leonard, no O, and I have to use my middle initial because there is a Joseph Leonard out of South Carolina. I'm in Michigan, the Detroit area, who is also a Christian author. So I like to joke. I am not he is not me, and neither of us will be confused for Shakespeare. And I get emails, people thinking I'm him. No, we're two. What did you mean when you said this, that, and the other thing in your last blah 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 book? And not me. Go ask him.
And I'm sure that he probably has to do the same for you.
I hope so. Yeah, actually, I'm a lot easier to find all over the internet. I'm a former IT guy, so I'm listed all over the place. Writing my books. I have my own Constitutionalist podcast show. I do music through the Suno AI system. My dad was Ted Leonard Jr. Ted Leonard Jr. and the Polka Kings, for anyone who's into polka music. They had a 3-record deal. In the 70s and 80s, I wrote and recorded music the old fashioned way, get a sheet music page out and write it all out, get out the instruments and record it. But I never got a record deal, and now my voice is shot. My vocal range, I like to joke, is between a screeching cat and a hyena. So I use the Suno AI system to use artificial voices to record my lyrical content. So yeah, I'm all over. And get born and raised in the southern suburb, downriver of Detroit, down the river, Wyandotte. Although I'm not fond of the winters here in Michigan, I do choose to say. In fact, it's one of my songs I've got on Suno, tinyurl.com/JLD on Suno. You could find Midwest Weather Blues. Welcome to Michigan, all 4 seasons in one day.
I love it. I love it. And wow, did not know that you are a musician too. So we hear you. All right, we can. I'm interested. The book, and then you also said that you're a suicide attempt survivor. Now,
Yeah.
our audience is a little bit of everything from professionals to those who are current authors, those who are trying to become authors, and people who are even they might be struggling with their own mental health, substance use, suicide, related concerns, maybe even LGBTQ concerns or what have you, right? So that is where our audience sits. So we have a very broad audience. Now,
Why did you have to turn this into sexist? Broad? What do you got against broads? But it's a joke, people. It's a joke. Please lighten up. We know what he meant.
oh, I love it. I love it. Oh man. Oh, oh. All right. My question to you is what do you want to bring to the table today? I'm gonna throw it in your court because I have no script right now. Like I don't have any questions to ask. Like I just go wherever the conversation goes.
Oh, that's the way I like it. Just my ADHD, OCD riddled bipolarish brain. Yeah, whatever rabbit holes open, that I'm happy to dive down them. Uh, I One of my 13 international books is how to write a book and get it published. So you said there's some would-be authors that will help take them through concept to writing, character development, scene development. What are realistic publishing options? What happens once you've published? You're not done. You got to deal with reviews and marketing and promotion and all that stuff. And my first international book, I've been writing my whole life, music before, as well as poetry, short stories. My first international novel is Terror Strikes Coming Soon to a City Near You. And it has a suicide prevention subthread in it. Although terrorism, it's not about death and destruction. It's the first in the Life and Living series of books, which are independent. It's a series loosely tied together under Life and Living. Terrorism, it's not about death and destruction. It's about life and living. And, military that deals with PTSD. There's the 22 Project, on average, 22 uh, veterans with PTSD might attempt to take their life in any given day. So I touch on that. Survivor's guilt of those who survived traumatic terrorism or general crime issues. Deal with mental health. Survivor's guilt. I deal with that in there. Uh, and then, as you said, my fifth in that series is going to be a Kindle exclusive. I uploaded it today, Wednesday, the May the 6th of 2026, waiting for Amazon to make it live. So by the weekend it should be there. It's called Roller Coasters, the Life Kind. And in that one, I don't deal with suicidal thoughts or that, but it is about loss and grief, regret and guilt at following losing someone and those trappings that indeed people often get suicidal after losing someone. And in fact, that's, and everybody's story is different. I warn about that. What I'm here to say is my story. It's not your story. Everybody's different. But in my case, indeed, it was my health went bad coincidentally in 2001. It had nothing to do with 9/11. And as of 2004, I've been on disability. My wife left in 2005. So, following all that, I lost my mind. And one day I was sitting here. I wasn't suicidal per se. I was of that mindset of, well, if I weren't here, that'd be great. You know, that kind, but for whatever reason, that one day I took a Xanax because I was on Xanax due to anxiety and stress with all the other health related problems I was dealing with. And I took another, and then I took a few more, and it was if I was there, I knew what was going on, but it was if somebody else took over. I knew what was going on, but it really wasn't me, and then I took a handful, then I took the rest of the bottle, and the next I knew, I was waking up in the hospital. It was like, what didn't say what happened. I knew what happened. I knew what went on. It's like, but I can't tell you why I did it.
Wow. Now, before I dig into all of that, you were taking all of those pills at that time. Did you ever go into active addiction, or was it just more of a mental health crisis?
Well, a little of both. I did eventually. I still to this day. There's a prescription of Xanax sitting uh, a foot and a half from me, and it's not a problem because I never take it more. It's the lowest dose, and I only take it if I really, really am on edge and literally jittery and need it. And I never take it more than 2 days in a row because I know it's a narcotic. I know it can be physically addictive. I don't have an addictive type personality, but I do know what it's like to go through physical withdrawals because years ago, indeed, when I was on the Xanax, the highest dose twice a day for like 3 years, and it came time to get off it. I went through those physical withdrawals and had to, give up trying to get off it a couple times, go back on it, and then try again because of the physical withdrawal aspects of it. So I do know it's not all mind over matter. There is physical withdrawals. The two are different at times. The two are one and the same at times. Again, everyone's situation, your mileage may vary, as they say, right?
So let me ask you this, because when we start talking about active addiction and we start talking about all the stuff that you had gone through, and you kind of like felt this crisis, kind of, or the walls closing in on you. How many times did you attempt to harm yourself?
Just the one time. That's
Just the
it.
one time?
Just the one time.
Oh,
But I
okay.
still to this day deal with anxiety, stress. That's why I still have the Xanax and depression at times. Again, you know, I wouldn't actively seek to lose my life, but if it happened, that'd be great. Whatever, who'd miss me? And the answer to that I go into in the Life and Living series of books is all lives matter. They do. Every life, no matter how insignificant you think your life may be, it matters. Like I go into in Terror Strikes. It's not like the movie It's a Wonderful Life. Clarence is going to come down. Oh, look, you saved somebody from drowning who went on to be a war hero and saved countless lives, or you stopped a pharmacist from poisoning a child that would have destroyed multiple. That's an over dramatization. Most people's lives aren't that dramatic. It's that way to make a point. But little things matter. Things you may not think of, like in my the Book of Kennedy Project Carpe Diem, the third in the Life and Living series of books. Again, they're related and they're all life and living related. They have different primary characters, so you don't have to read them as a series. They're not sequels or prequels, although there are some character crossovers. If you don't read the series, no big deal. You don't have to read all of them to follow whatever one you're reading. But in the Book of Kennedy Project Carpe Diem, I deal in that. It's a Wonderful Life and the butterfly effect. Small things add up. Kennedy shares a smile with someone who appears to be a divorcee, and it's his day with the kids. They're up at the ice cream shop and he's having a hard time dealing with them. So she smiles at him. He smiles back. You don't think anything of that. But guess what? And this is, yes, a dramatization, but it does happen or can happen in real life. That smile cheered up cheered up Sam, who was contemplating suicide, who then didn't, and then remarried, and then their child goes on to cure cancer. Well, if not for that little itty bitty smile that's long forgotten by Kennedy, but Sam remembers it, you don't think about it. Major butterfly effect, right? The butterfly effect, wings flapping, creating this potential tsunami over there. I also call it the Pantene shampoo effect. Remember those Pantene shampoos? They tell two friends, then they tell two friends, and they tell, right? You get an exponential movement. Well, two little acts of random kindness turn into 4, turn into 8, turn into 16, turn into 32, right? They exponentially butterfly effect out and make a big difference in the world you might not see, you might not pay that much attention to. Doesn't mean it isn't really happening. Because the devil's going to be there on your shoulder lying to you, right? Your life is meaningless. Your life is worthless. Nothing you do matters. It's a lie. That's why he's called the great deceiver.
Mm. No, and you bring up great points in a lot of areas because I think there's when we think about mental health and depression and suicide and addiction, like all of this stuff, like all of the stuff you're saying, the one of the leads or the lead one of the lead singers, I think it was in Lincoln Park, his
Mm,
he died by suicide.
mhm.
And his wife or fiance, significant other, whomever it is, I'm not trying to be, disrespectful to her by any means, but she had, made statements about how the day before, the night before, he was laughing, having a good time, spending time with the family. And yet, this, that, and the third. And so I love the fact that you brought this stuff up because it's not always doom and gloom, or it doesn't
Right.
always appear to be on the outside doom and gloom. Doom and gloom. It could be the fact that, hey, I'm smiling and it's a fake smile, right? But yet,
Eminence front, the who. To,
right, right.
yep.
And we don't know when we are nice to that person, when we smile at that person, we don't know what type of impact that potentially could have on the next person.
My Kennedy and Sam analogy, yes. Exactly right. I made a couple notes while you were talking. Robin Williams. I know what that's like. He said a couple days before he died about people like him, people like me. I use humor a lot. It's a deflection tactic, right? Robin Williams, you think, oh, wow, always great, always upbeat, always. No, he performs and he's on most of the time. But what happens when there's no crowd to perform to? All those dark thoughts crept into his head. And one day he couldn't deal with them anymore. So a lot of people that you might think are jovial, fun, outgoing people feel dead inside. And you need to understand that. And the other thing is, I used to play hockey through high school. Didn't get into college or go pro or anything like that. But I'm an NHL fan then still to this day. The last few years, couple of hockey teams, one was the Nashville Predators, had a PSA, public service announcements out. I can't talk. Announcements ad campaign called Embrace the Awkward, right? I My story's not your story's everybody's different, but generally, you can kinda tell if something is up with someone, if you really know them. If something is off, and that's the whole embrace the awkward. I know something's up with you. I might not be able to help you, but just know I'm here if you want to talk. And if I can't help you, I care. I will help you find the help you need. Embrace the awkward. Do not let it go by. You might lose somebody if you do.
Right. And I 100% agree with you on that. So let me ask you, in your own personal life, how long did you stay in that active dark abyss prior to you attempting to take your own life?
Well, I can't put a particular, day or date on it, and it comes and goes. And I think that is true of a lot of people. It comes and goes. I mean, there's still dark days. Uh, where I'll sit here and just stew in negativity. And I have to remind myself of my own plot points of my books. These lives matter. You might not. So what? So today may not be a great day. And as the joke goes, hey, well, today ain't your day, and tomorrow ain't looking too good either, right? So, what about next week, next month, next year? Yeah, Life and Living, my latest book, the fifth in the Life and Living series, the title Roller Coasters, the Life Kind. Ups and downs and spins, and like a tilt-a-whirl, you might go around to the point of wanting to vomit. You know, uh, Life is like, metaphorically, although I like to joke, I'm way too intelligent and clever for metaphors. I use meta sixes. Bum. In fact, it's one of my songs I've got called Metaphors, makes fun of that. It's a bit contradictory. One minute I'm talking about metaphors or really better analogies, meta sixes, and the next I'm saying about, I don't say apples when I mean bricks. Well, that's the opposite of metaphorical. That's literal. But anyway, putting that aside, a song doesn't, you got 3.5 minutes for a song. It doesn't have to make perfect sense. But but yeah, the roller coaster analogy, you're gonna have ups and downs. You can't dwell, and the whole Life and Living series of books is about that. I, the book Kennedy, Project Carpe Diem again, and there's a song for each of the books in the series. And it talks about that. Is life a set of mediocre days with a bunch of bright ones tossed in here and there? And the sad reality is, yes, most days for most people are mediocre. That's just the reality of this world. Don't dwell on the negative. Or, Annie and the in my short story, A Lasting Legacy book, there's an Annie chapter, right? The play, the sun will come out tomorrow, blah, 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 blah. But seriously, the sun's still going to come out tomorrow, and there might be rain too. I quote Longfellow in several of his rainy day poem. In every life, rain is going to fall. It's part of reality. Deal in reality. Don't let yourself get caught up in this delusion of, oh, so and so's life is perfect. No, no, there's no such thing as perfect on this planet. It's a fallen world. One perfect person walked this planet, Jesus Christ. Everybody else has got problems down here. I hate to break it to you. So deal in reality. Things aren't always going to be great, but they're also always not going to be the Shidas touch, the opposite of the Midas touch.
We have to take the good with the bad and the bad with the good and the beautiful with the ugly and
Oh,
vice versa.
yes, I'm glad you said that. I'm reaching under my green screen here, and pardon because Riverside won't let me project an image onto my green screen. They only allow gamer chips now to project an image onto the green screen. So, at any rate, whereas it used to work fine before, but I'm my Riverside whining about Riverside aside, I dug under the green screen for this sheet of paper. It's a meme I share. It was on Truth Social. Chris Williams Chris, at Williams Chris, with a K, Kris, shared it. And it's perfect. It's not from the Bible, but it's biblical. Life is so ironic. It takes sadness to know what happiness is, noise to appreciate silence, and absence to value presence. That could be a proverb right from the Bible. That is absolutely correct. Yin and yang. I, on my constitutional show, I talk all the time about I'm going to deal with you in the good, the bad, and the ugly, because there's often some bad and ugly that goes with every good, and there can be that proverbial silver lining in the dark cloud of the bad that is good. You have to have the one to appreciate the other, or you wouldn't know the alternative. To appreciate light, you have to understand there's darkness.
Right. And I think it goes back to, if I go back to, let's take it one step further. If we go back to Robin Williams, Lincoln Park, and all these other, big name, big time people who are famous, well, in my personal opinion, I think pretty famous. You can have it all together. You can have all the money. You can have everything in this world sitting in the palm of your hand. And this, if that were the solution to this internal dark abyss, right, to this empty blank spot on the inside, then I think none of that would have happened, right? And so what did that look like for you when you noticed, whenever as you look back now, or as you were going through that, like, when did you know that I have to do certain things to fill this empty void, that everything isn't as it seems?
Yeah. Again, my story is certainly different than anyone else's. God wasn't done with me yet the way I saw it. Thankfully, I woke up the next day, right? I'm still here. So I'm still struggling, but I'm also here still fighting. Uh, I want to sow more good in the world so that others also can avoid feeling the way I did that day. And I forget where I was gonna go with that, but yeah, everybody's story is different, and you just don't know. It's proverbial saying, "What tomorrow will bring." But again, today may be bad, tomorrow may be bad. What about next week, next month, next year? You just don't know. You can never know. Um, I lost my train came and I was at the shipyard, right? Lost my train of thought.
I think that happens to the best of us.
But yeah, like, oh, celebrities, more money, more problems. Well, I wish I had those problems. You know, but to seriously to that point you were making, money may solve some of your issues, but it doesn't solve all of your issues. With it come a new set of different problems. And it doesn't change in my whole life and living series of books. And in fact, my nonfiction Constitutionalist politics, there's four of those to go with my Christian podcast. Delves in. Oh, I lost the damn train of thought again. uh, Oh, yeah, human nature. Oh, thank you. Human the bottom line is human nature. We like to think we're so evolved as a species. Look at all these wonderful toys we got now. Well, we may be more advanced than we were 1,000 years ago. And guess what? Now, compared to 1,000 years from now, we'll probably still look like the Dark Ages to those people looking back. But human nature hasn't changed. I had Leslie Hall on my show talking about our animal side, our insides, our psychology 101 I go through in the books. That hasn't changed. We're still grappling with the same concepts. New toys doesn't change that. There's wants, there's needs, there's desires. And of course, we get caught up in the wants and desires over our needs too much at times. And of course, money, oh, pardon me, solves the needs part. Hey, I used to be in IT. I'm on disability now, have been since 2004. So I know what it's like to have some wonderful, fun toys. I do, and I know what it's like to have next to nothing because, I've got a car that's barely holding together with duct tape and bubble gum now, whereas before, I had a Porsche 944, I owned a DeLorean. Oh, I knew what it was like to have wonderful toys and a six-figure salary a year, and certainly now, because some people say, "Oh, isn't it great to be retired early?" No, no, it's not. I'd rather still be making six figures in a career I love, but my reality now is different than my reality then, and you have to learn to flow with the go, as they say, right? Things will change, but it's the same mentality we're dealing with. And I like to joke, I came up with the term non medical or non clinical schizophrenia. We all deal with it. We are different people in the same body. We have, again, the roller coaster. We have up days, we have down days, we have happy days, we have sad days. We have multiple people in our Martin Luther King Jr. That makes up our content of character. Everybody's entitled to bad days on occasion. Like in the book of Kennedy, I coined the term, I'd used it for decades. I finally put it in print, mass holes. You know the type, right? The masses of asses. They're always miserable and they always look to drag everybody else down. And you just got to avoid those people, right? Uh, but I lost the train of thought again. I mean, but I mean, what can you do in those situations? If that's the way they are, just avoid them. Like in my a short story, A Lasting Legacy, Ryan gets out of bed after a bad night of sleep. He knows he's going to have a bad day. And Doug is one of those massholes. You know, he's always miserable, always a contrarian. If you say up, he'll say down. You say left, he'll say right. You say sunny, he'll say rainy. So Ryan recognizes, I'm tired, I'm stressed. This is not going to be a good day for me. So I'm going to avoid going to such and such a place cuz Doug is always there. And I don't want to blow up at Doug because I'm in a bad place today. Let Doug be the miserable SOB he is every day. We don't have to let it affect us. I guess is the point. I hope that's the point I was going to make. I don't know, but it's the one we're at now. Again, the train, the airport, and I'm at the shipyard again with my little rowboat.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I love it. Oh, but a lot of the stuff you're saying, I think, is critical to living content, to living somewhat happy. I mean, are we going still going to experience anger, guilt, remorse, sadness? Like we're going to experience all of that, right? Whether it's guilt or what have you, doesn't matter what emotion it is. But I would like to think though that I am who I am around. My great grandmother used to always tell me, and I didn't understand a word she was saying until after I had gotten into adulthood, early
Show
adulthood.
me your friends, I'll show you your future.
Was now she didn't say that part, but she did say you lie down with dogs, you wake up with fleas.
Yeah, yeah,
Right,
that too.
right,
Absolutely. Right.
yeah,
It matters who you surround. If you surrounding yourself with happier people, you yourself will be happier. And likewise, if you're around miserable SOBs all the time, you surround yourself with criminal hoodlums, like greater chance you yourself will slide into criminal behavior. So yes, I touch on that in the books. That's absolutely true. And indeed, the fifth book, Roller Coasters, the life kind, dealing with loss, having lost someone, because that's part of life and living. Yeah, grief, regret, guilt. When loss, the stages of grief: shock, denial, anger, acceptance. None of those are a problem as long as you don't get stuck in one of those. Regret and guilt and grief and all those things, all those different stages of emotions are part of life. They're part of our non medical schizophrenia, as I coin it. It only becomes an issue when you're stuck in one of those.
right. And I one of the things that I always try to teach people is, our emotions are absolutely, normal. They're part of being human. It's part of having a human experience. And it's not about trying to run from them or cover them up or hide from them or avoid them. It's learning to just be, right? It's learning that it is okay to be mad. It is okay to allow myself to feel that anger or that madness. It's okay for me to cry. It's okay for me to have, be fearful or, have anxiety, have nervousness. Every single piece of these human emotions is absolutely 100% normal because they inform me of something. And I'm glad that I'm glad that we're on this, topic because I think for a lot of people, especially I see in a lot more in the younger generation, they don't know how to experience them. They don't know, you know, or if it's not that, it's also um, I don't want to feel this because it doesn't, to me, it doesn't feel right. I want to be happy all the time. And I always tell people, well, shit, if I want to be happy all the time, then send me to damn Carowin 7 days a week. I'll go down there and join and jump on the theme rides.
That's where the money comes in, right? Rich people can afford to go on joyful cruises and whatnot a lot of time, but that doesn't allow them to fully escape their lives entirely. I'm holding up my Constitutionalist Politics 3 book, but it's in my Kindle version 4 of the series. I go into anger. Anger is not a sin. Jesus also went through bouts of anger. Anger only becomes a sin if you allow it to cause you to lash out and harm others, and especially murder an innocent. Then it's crossed into a sin. It's like hubris. Also, the saying, the sin of pride. No, that's not what it is. It's pridefulness and hubris that is the sin. I should be proud of little Sally getting all A's. I should be proud of little Johnny hitting the walk-off home run at Little League. I should be proud of a job well done at work. It becomes hubris when I go into the office of the boss and pound on the desk and say, all these people are worthless. Fire them and pay me their salary. That, no, when you're working, you're part of a team. And there's no I in team, as they say. But I also point out, I coined, there is a hole in the A. Don't be an a-hole. Right? So there pridefulness is a sin. Pride itself is not. Anger is not a sin. It can turn into something worse again if you're dwelling on the anger and you let it get the best of you. It is how you channel the anger that matters.
Right. So let me ask you this then. Okay. I have to ask because it's your personal life, right? Because we're here talking about you. All right. When it comes to your recovery, your suicidal attempt, and everything that you've been through, when did you realize that you needed to learn how to channel the emotions versus trying to take my own life out?
Yeah.
Like,
Again, my own personal situation is going to be different than anybody else. I felt, I feel, I believe, I just throw out the feelings, right? We all have feelings, but even last, even the Bible says a, a fool with his emotion at his hand versus the wisdom of the intelligent thinker on the other hand. It's important to understand we have feelings and we should and we need those feelings. It's part of where our compassion and empathy comes from. But you can't allow your heart to rule your head. That old adage. Yes, you let your feelings run away with you all the time. It can cause you and others major problems. Great book out now called Toxic Empathy. I highly recommend that. You have to think, okay, I feel this way, but like back to anger, what can I do about it? How can I apply that anger to be a more positive application and outcome for my and others' benefits? You have to think. If you let the emotion run away with you, you're gonna have a major problem. So I have always thought every life has value and meaning. But again, that one day, as I said, it is if somebody else took over. I was there. I knew what was going on, but it was if indeed the devil got control of my joystick and was remote controlling me. And I'm popping pills and popping pills and popping pills without thinking about it. It was just an action, a reaction to the moment. Uh, so I've always known that and understood that, and thankfully, I was saved from that day so I can express that on shows like yours and through my books.
Wow. No, and I appreciate you sharing that. What prompted you into realizing that, other people need to hear the solution, other people, or hear a solution? What prompted you to realize that, hey, other people, I might have something that other people might need throughout all
Right,
of this stuff?
right. Eh, I I mean, we know just from studies, psychological studies and whatnot, there are a lot of people who feel lost, and it's easy to get them to understand your life has value and meaning if indeed you can present it in the It's a Wonderful Life, that drama versus real drama way, the butterfly effect, as I do the smile incident in the Book of Kennedy. Most people will grasp these metaphors and analogies. The question again is, as long as they don't stay trapped in their emotions, their anger at themselves for not having a life they would prefer. Most people don't have the life they prefer. Again, I'd like to be a billionaire on my yacht floating somewhere rather than talk. No offense to you, but you know it, rather than talking to you, right? No, most people don't have the lives they prefer. You can't dwell on the negative, nasty, negative Nelly drag you down emotions. Hence the saying, you can't let your heart rule your head or your body. And most people understand that when they hear it. They just need to hear it to reinforce what they already knew. They already know these things. They're not stupid. They know these things. That inner devil is trying to deceive them.
Mm, you said a mouthful right there, and I absolutely
Oh, I'm
do.
sorry. There's something running down my face. Yeah.
Oh, one of the
I
things
bit
that
off more than I could chew. Yeah, put up bump. Again, but no, I mean I know that about my, and that's the other thing. To thine own self be true. I was
mm,
on a couple other shows, and I created the uh, mirror moment. You remember the network movie? I'm mad as hell. I want you to get up and open up your window and shout, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to. That's just pissing into the wind. Nothing comes of it. Nobody really hears you. You may vent. It may help in that moment to let that anger be vented out. But I want you to not figuratively do that. I want you to literally get off your ass. Go to your bathroom, look yourself in the mirror and say, right, point the finger. Because remember, you point your finger, three more of your own are pointing right back. And one of my songs, Evil Prevail, the only thing necessary, the Burke quote, for evil prevails, good peoples do nothing. What are you and I say in the song, and the problem today is nothing is the state with most people today. They're not doing it. What are you doing? What are you doing? Not what are you vocalizing, not what are you spewing, what are you doing? to make a difference in your own life, not, oh, I'm a victim, I'm a victim, I'm a victim. It's always somebody. Anti Semitism is on the rise today. Why? Because the victimhood, oh, it's got to be that group of people's fault. Can't be mine. No, look yourself in the mirror. Ask yourself, what are you doing right? What are you doing wrong? What can you, Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror. I'm looking at the man in the mirror and I'm asking him, yourself, to change. Starts with us. It starts within. Rick Springfield's got a song off his Karma album called Prayer, his kind of version of Man in the Mirror. I send a prayer to heaven for the chance to be a better man than the man I see. It has to start with that recognition. You looking in your mirror and being honest with yourself, because some people are great liars, and the person they lie to the most is themselves. I want you looking in the mirror, be honest. What are you doing, good and bad, and what more good can you do for your own and everyone else's sake? Shut up. GTFO and STFU, what are you doing? Doing consequential things. Even the small smile is something that matters. It's an action. You shall be known by your fruits. What are you doing? Do something.
And Socrates is quoted for saying that the unexamined life is not worth living.
Yeah. Socrates, the guy that invented soccer, right? Yeah. You set that one up. I'm sorry. You were kind of the Abbott to my Costello, or the Dean to my Jerry, or the dumb to my dumber. And I just can't pass the lame puns.
Oh, I love
But
it, bro. I
that's
love it,
part
bro.
of it. I've got a song called Jamaican Me Crazy with these puns. No, it's not cultural appropriation. Yes, I've been to the islands. Yes, I met some great people. Iman, shout out to, friends I haven't seen in decades that I met there. But I'm not stealing the culture doing a Jamaican reggae song to make the point. Jamaican Me Crazy with these puns, as it says in the song, even a lame pun, man, is a good one, right? It's doing, it's lightening the mood. Even a cringe pun can get someone out of a bad mood. I'm attempting to do, not just vent.
No, and for me, I think really and truly, however we examine ourselves, even if it's through humor, right? At least that's taken that step forth in looking at ourselves in the mirror. Does that make sense? It's
Mhm.
doing exactly what I think a lot of major spiritual religious ideals teach about is looking at ourselves. We need to take the needle out of our eye first, or whatever that famous
Yes.
biblical
Remove the
quote is,
log
right?
from thine own eye. Yes.
Yes, because I can't help you unless I first look at myself and help myself out.
Oh,
And
oh,
if I look at myself and I'm able to understand my motives, my decisions, the consequences, et cetera, I'm able to then teach you through my own experience. Now, my own experience is still subjective, it's not objective, but at least I'm able to share with people. Does that make sense?
yes, and I'm glad you use that. You brought that up. You mentioned you got to help yourself before you can help others. Absolutely, the airplane analogy, and I've used it many times. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's in one of my books. Uh, but when I'm done writing, I'm moving on to the next. You sometimes forget some of the things you've said in a book. But on a plane, in case of the loss of cabin pressure, affix the oxygen mask to your own face first. Why? Because you're no help to anybody else if you're one of the fishes flopping around on the ground can't breathe like a fish out of water. Put on your oxygen mask, then you're in a place to be able to help others with their oxygen mask. It's a perfect metaphor and analogy. Indeed. And back to mass holes. And you're looking in the mirror. Are you a masshole? Are you one of those miserable people, grumpy all the time? That's partially your own fault. Stop it. You've got to make yourself better in order to help others to be good and upbeat and positive. And when even faking a smile, studies have shown faking a smile often gets a smile back that still releases dopamine and endorphins, and it helps chemically improve your own mood. So, faking a smile, forcing out a lame pun, even when you're not feeling happy yourself, it helps you and the other people who hear the joke, even if it's as bad as the puns as I've been telling on this show.
Right. No, and I think, it goes back to, uh, I think in recovery programs, they say Rule 62, don't take yourself so damn seriously. That is one of my favorite rules.
Oh, there's a whole lot of massholes who do that. Yeah, they take themselves way too damn seriously. Yes.
I love it. I love it. No, no, because I think life is, when we start can't even talk. When we start examining ourselves, I think we are tempted to go into this abyss of dark, deep despair and depression and all of this stuff, right? And I don't think a self examination is meant for us to do that. I think it's meant for us to just reflect on and ask ourselves, what can I do differently next time? What is something I can do better next time? It goes back to Michael Jackson and the Man in the Mirror. I'm looking at the man in the mirror.
Yes, I am glad you pivoted back to that because that's the note I just made myself. Human nature, psychology 101. It goes back to all that. The Michael movie. I was just on with Rick Walker, Maverick News out of Ontario, Canada. A couple nights ago, we did a review of the movie. Now, I think but Matthew 7, condemn not lest ye be condemned. It's between them and God whether this is a pure exploitation film and them riding Michael's coattails because they can't make money otherwise. That might be true. I don't know. That's between them and God. But what I do know, because I decided that in my head, and I wasn't going to see it because I saw the previews and said, he may be MJ's nephew, but he doesn't really look like him. But the performance scenes, once he starts moving, OMG, it's like seeing MJ still alive and performing. Oh my. So I recommend the movie. I only give it a B, but the point being, regardless of what the motivation is, the movie is good in that for our time, it does play the song Human Nature in it. And that's the point. What are we focusing on? If we focus on the better, positive aspects of MJ's life and his desire to want to bring people together and make people happy through his music, that's a good message for our time regardless of what the motivation was for the film to be out now.
And you know something? You're making me a little bit jealous because I haven't seen that movie yet.
Oh,
I have
I
not seen that
recommend it.
movie yet.
I saw it in Epic Theater, which is like an IMAX. It's,
Yep.
you know, it's the other brand for the local theater, but it's like an IMAX. And oh my, I have a 60-inch TV, but it's still nothing like,
The
you
big
know,
500-inch TVs they got.
yeah, yeah, a 3-story with speakers the size, 20 speakers all the size of my TV, pounding out that music. They're like, "Oh my, wow."
Yep. Yep. No, and you were absolutely not wrong on that one. I've had a few people tell me that the movie does not disappoint, and I need to go check it out.
Well,
And
I think there are some disappointing aspects, like me and Rick were talking. They're kind of glossing over some of Michael's. They touch on his mental health condition and his physical health issues to a degree, but they want to kind of gloss over that. And in my mind, Rick is stuck on, oh, well, they're hiding things. They're hiding. In my mind, they need to do that because, again, we want to bring positivity forth, not the negative side.
mm, no, and I could see where both of you might be right on that one,
Yeah,
because
both
in
are
his
valid.
defense, no, right, in his defense, that's like, if we don't acknowledge the totality of everything, or then we are doomed to repeat again,
Yeah.
right? And I'm not necessarily saying that some repetition is all good or all bad, uh, but I think it really brings awareness to, and once we can bring awareness to, I think that is where we can go back into the self-examination process, right? Or that reflection or examination piece, right? Whether it's with ourselves or in society as a whole, it's neither here nor there. But I think that is critical and important.
hmm I'm glad you said what you did, and I was laughing because you triggered a thought. In my Terror Strikes book, I, right, history may not repeat, but it rhymes a lot, especially if we're too stupid to learn from it. If you can't just erase history or ignore history, because then you are indeed doomed to repeat. Because again, human nature, the human condition, it's been the same forever. If you don't learn from it, you might repeat some of the same dumb mistakes that are easily avoidable. And in roller coasters, the life kind, you mentioned repetition. I speak to that. Music, a song you love on repeat, is positive. A song you hate hearing it over on the radio is annoying and drives you crazy, or a TV ad. Uh, the Geico, I've got a song called Wednesday Hump Day. Remember the Geico camel? What day is it? It's Hump Day. So I created a Wednesday Hump Day song based on that to be lighthearted and fun. I love that commercial. Geico's got another one, Hammer Time. Remember MC Hammer, right? And they're mocking that. It's a great one versus the Liberty Bibberty commercials. Oh, those drive me progressive with Jamie being kind of dumb. It's okay to poke fun at your employees and your company. But what Liberty does is calling its customers stupid. They can't talk, they don't know the name, they call it Bibberty instead of Liberty. That's a bad ad. Those annoy the hell out of me because you're calling your customers stupid. Marketing 101. Don't do that. That's dumb.
Right, right. Oh, man, and I think you just made me think about that whole the
Yeah.
advertisement
Am I
completely.
right? Yeah.
You're not wrong. I mean, I never thought about it from that perspective.
No,
Oh,
but I have OCD and I'm on disability, so I'm on my couch most of the day. I've got all this time on my hands to think of these things and conclusions most would come to if they had the time to think about them. So I've thought it through. I present it, and obviously, again, I'm so smart. I use Meta sixes. Just agree with me.
oh, I love it. I love
Uh,
it. Well, look, we have to start wrapping up because, folks, I can't keep this man here all freaking day, and I
oh,
love
I've
his
had
energy.
fun though. I've been really enjoyed
Oh my God,
I,
you and I both.
the Kevin, oh damn, or the Nodum you didn't go there show to take it back to the top.
Right. Oh, I love it. I love it. So, if there's one thing that you want people to take away from this, what
Oh,
is that?
yeah, certainly you're not the first to ask that. You won't be the last. It's always a good question. And indeed, in my Life and Living series of books, a life philosophy I've said it for decades. Hey, dummy, put it in your books. So I did. It could always be better, but it could often be worse. Right? Especially in our nation, the most free and most prosperous nation this planet has ever seen. E pluribus unum. In fact, I've got a song called E pluribus unum, right? From many one. For the greater good. More people have it good here than anywhere else and at any other time in history. But yet, we've got so many that are whiners and moaners and complainers. Think about how bad others have it elsewhere. Stop whining. Yes, it could always be better, but it could be worse. If you remember that, then we'll catch ourselves and whine a lot less, which again promotes happiness and positivity.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. I couldn't have said it any better. So
No, you
let me
couldn't have. Yeah,
right.
it's a joke. I'm just joking with them. Please, people, lighten up.
So let me ask you this then: if people want to book you to be on their show, maybe buy some books from you, or even reach out to you, ask you some questions, get you to even be their mentor, maybe, or be a coach for them, how and where can they find and contact you?
Yeah, several places. Most people have heard of Linktree, whether they know what it is or not. It's a aggregator. It allows you to list all your links under one place. So that's the easiest place to find where I all my social media platforms, my websites, and what my Suno site, my Amazon site. Link tr.ee. Link tr.ee/ J. Leonard Detroit. Again, Leonard, it looks French. It's not Leonard. It's Leonard without an O. J for Joseph, Lenard, Detroit, because I'm in the Detroit area. My website, josephmleonard.us, tinyurl.com, JLD on Amazon, or tinyurl.com/JLD on Suno, or JLD on TLB. But Linktree's the easiest way to find all those other places. I'm all over the place.
Love it. All right, and most important question that you're probably going to be asked today: what is your
What's for
call
dinner? Yeah,
to? I
I'll be
wish, right?
doing that next. Yeah.
Right, right. What is your call to action?
Yeah. Oh, don't be a masshole. It's just that get off your butt, go to your mirror, look yourself in the mirror, and most of all, stop lying to yourself. We're all human, frail, flawed, imperfect. What can we demand of ourselves to be better, to make this a better world? It's a fallen world. What can we do? What will we do other than flapping our gums to make the place a little better?
Mm, I love it. I love it. Folks, you've heard it best on the One Moment podcast.
That's right.
Another,
Nobody better than me to tell you.
absolutely,
I don't
absolutely.
suffer from hubris. That's a joke. That's a joke, people.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, folks, go check him out on social media. As you're checking him out on social media, follow us too. We're on social media too. So, with that being said, thank
I'm
you.
on the, I prefer the anti-social media. Ba-dum-bum. Thank you. You set that up again. I can't pass, no matter how lame the pun. If you lob that ball in, the hell if I'm not going to knock it the hell out of the park.
I love it. I love it. All right, folks, check them out. Check us out. Thank you all for checking in with us today. It's been an absolute amazing and phenomenal time on here. And until next time, peace and love to all.
Take care. God bless. Love y'all.